Tomasz. Me and Josh are the co-founders of Snappetizer, the app to help you find good food locally. Quick story about how Snappetizer came to be. Josh and I have been working together for 3 years for a big Fortune 500 company, and we're traveling a lot. None of us have won any Grammys yet, unfortunately, but I know your brother's working on it. So we're traveling a lot, and we're foodies. We're constantly looking for food. So we went on the big apps, restaurant rating apps, to find Pad Thai. We looked it up. We found a Thai restaurant that had like 3.7 stars. We went there. We tried the Pad Thai, and long story short, the Pad Thai turned out to be crap. So for us, the existing solutions just failed right off the bat in that scenario. So we looked around, we looked for apps that were more food-focused, more dish-focused, and we didn't really find anything. So we're trying to solve two main problems. The first one is, hey, I want Pad Thai right now. Where can I go get it? And the second, if I'm in a restaurant, what is the best dish here? Right? Because maybe that Thai restaurant we went to turned out had like a really good fried rice or really good soup. It just, we picked the wrong dish. I think that this happens very, very common. Since our launch, we spoke to a lot of restaurants, and oftentimes our pitch begins, hey, we're the anti-Yelp for foodies, and then they first they laugh, and then they say, oh, that's wonderful, we really, really hate Yelp. And I'm like, why? It's all the negative reviews. So literally 9 out of 10 restaurant customers we spoke to had a huge negative reaction. So this slide was the easiest one to create. These are all negative reviews on Yelp, where people actually loved the food and had a terrible experience with something completely unrelated. Right? There's a person complaining about a bad brand of ketchup, for example. But the rest of the food was amazing. So we wanted to create something that really focuses on the food, focuses on the positives. We don't have any negative reviews, so people can't take revenge and pollute a restaurant's dish page. And we just want to help people find the best, not just something that doesn't suck. So with that, because we have no negative reviews, we don't really have any need for stars either. This is the quick workflow from the app. We're super picture focused, right? So you take a picture of the food, you leave a review, and then you post it on the app. And what happens is we sort stuff by categories. We have more than 300 categories. Someone here was looking for chocolate cake. There are 4 chocolate cake cases that showed up really quick. And every time you have a dish in a particular category, let's say a burger, all the other burgers you had show up, and then you rank them. So that's a completely different take than what other apps do today, which are focused on star ratings, which always average out at like 3.5 stars and are not super helpful. Right? What's 3 stars for me could be 4 stars for Josh. Why are we using these stars anyway? Why don't we just compare the food directly? I want to know where the best burger is. I know this burger was better than that burger. So we have a very unique algorithm, which no one else has, to consolidate these lists that people create for food. We're also convinced that this algorithm can be used in other spaces. So before I wrap up, I want to point this out. Food discovery is still in Web 1.0. And when was the last time anyone's heard this term, Web 1.0, Web 2.0? For me, it was like 10 years ago. It's so freaking old. But the truth is, really, food discovery is still stuck there. There are no networks, right? There's nothing that compares dishes to each other. This is still the old web. Whereas with the rankings that we do, we actually utilize something called Metcalfe's law, where with each additional ranking that you add, you increase the value of the whole network. Because you have networks of dishes within categories, and you have networks of users, which we think is pretty cool. We just launched in February. We're still small. We're looking for our seed round, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Great job.
Sorry, so quick question. I may have zoned out for a second when you
Sure.
said that. How do you monetize this?
Correct. Also, revenue modeling. Thank you. I didn't talk about that a lot. So we're going to have 3 main revenue streams. 2 are focused on advertising. It didn't really fit in this short deck because we're still like a year away from monetization. But we're going to have ads in our newsfeed. We have a newsfeed kind of like Facebook or Instagram does. So we'll do ads there. We're going to do promoted posts per dish. So if I'm searching for burgers, let's say I'm searching within 5 miles, but there's an advertiser who wants to advertise a burger 7 miles away, still good quality, still relevant, we want to bring them in, so that's the second one. And the third one is going to be analytics and insights, because we have all this menu data that we're crunching, and we know what people like, we know what people eat, we have pricing data as well. we can come up with some cool insights that's really hard to match from other places. So we can help with menu optimization, right? You need to have X dish on your menu to maximize profits, and even stuff like real estate and locations. Where should you open up your next place to maximize traffic?
And so what if the result that democracy produces is that McDonald's is the best hamburger? What do you do about that?
We haven't had that happen, so when that comes up, then maybe I'll just shoot myself because it's not worth living. I don't even have any kids. But fortunately, it really hasn't come up with our users so far. Yeah. Also, we don't have McDonald's on there. People have to add it manually. We did scrape menus. We have 6,000 restaurants. That's how we got initial data. We took McDonald's out. So if people really want to go out of their way and put McDonald's in there, I don't know. The people I've met on the internet, they tend to be really short-tempered. So they're going to make sure that McDonald's is not ranked high. They'll say some mean things, but you have to moderate out afterwards.
I think the question that's going to jump out that you have to have a great answer for, and you touched on it here, is why you're different than Yelp, how you can compete,
right,
how you can have a sustainable advantage and a differentiation versus them. When you're competing, I think generally against like a competitor that people view as a dominant player in that space, I think that's the key kind of story, is how you create a moat around that. One thing that I would encourage you to think about, which you mentioned, which I think is a business within your business, and is a nugget. And I would actually be almost more excited about it than the overall business, is calibration of ratings. I think this is a problem that people have looked to solve, and no one solved it effectively yet. But you get someone who puts a 1 down, at an unbelievable restaurant where someone else has a 5, and actually kind of figuring out a way, because restaurants generally shy away from things like this because they have to manage them so hard. And if you can calibrate ratings and figure out a way that you can really figure out what to Tomash is a 5 and to me is a 3, and to Brandon is a 2.5. I mean, I think that's a really interesting problem to try to solve for the retailer. So I would kind of put that on your list to think about that maybe as an interesting revenue source within your business.
Thanks. Any questions from the audience?
We have time for one question. Anybody like to ask a question? This one right here.
How you doing? How do you deal with situations where because restaurants close and open all the time, they go out of business. How do you keep track of which restaurants remain in business, still have a particular food,
So
stuff like that?
we get our initial data from scraping. So you're right, it becomes out of date really quick. And we have 2 ways for that. Right now, users can indicate if there's a problem, which is pretty low tech. Just send an email to us, hey, this is closed, or this menu item is no longer available. But right now we're working on a back end where restaurants can go in and manage themselves. So for example, if they open another location, they could add that. If the menu changes from the fall season to the winter season or whatever, they could update their menu. We're in progress.
Thank you very much, Tomas.